Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
President Donald Trump responding to the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to strike down his emergency global tariffs. Trump says that a new 10% global tariff will be signed into law later today under a different act. The court ruled that he acted unconstitutionally when he imposed the tariffs last year under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The ruling will impact some, but not all, Canadian goods. The decision does not apply to sectoral tariffs imposed on specific countries or products, like the ones aimed at Canada's steel and aluminum industries. The CBC's Katie Simpson joins us live from Washington to break it all down for us because trade is so simple. Katie, walk us through the implications for Canada with this decision.
So the big question going forward is going to be, will the exemptions that Canada enjoyed before, the preferential treatment that Canada got, will that be applied to this new global 10% tariff that Donald Trump announced today? I reached out to the White House and I heard back a short time ago, and basically we're going to have to wait until we actually get our hands on the paper. This is what a spokesman for the White House said. Once something is signed, we will be releasing paper that covers this. I don't want to infer anything or imply anything or sort of extrapolate from that. I think we just, again, we need to wait until we get the paper, unless they're going to tell us directly that either one way or the other about what's going to happen with these exemptions. So in this 6-3 ruling, the court essentially said that Donald Trump overstepped his authority in applying certain tariffs, the ones he declared emergencies for, a border emergency, a fentanyl emergency, or a trade deficit emergency. All of those emergencies, well, it turns out the court says that Trump doesn't actually have the authority to declare those emergencies and impose tariffs in this way. But he does have a whole host of other tariff tools, if we want to say that. He does have a bunch of other options. It was very clear that even though Donald Trump is not happy with this decision, he was prepared for it. And that when he came out and announced that he will be imposing a new 10% global tariff using a different sort of avenue. If the emergency tariffs were one sort of highway, imagine you're driving in Toronto and you're going down the 401 and they say, okay, the 401's closed. You can't use the 401 anymore. Oh, we're going to shift over to the 407, or oh, we're going to shift down to the 403. That's basically for everyone who lives in Southern Ontario. People who don't live in Southwestern Ontario are going to be like, what are you talking about? But just imagine if you're going down Avenue A, okay, the Supreme Court says can't use Avenue A anymore. Okay, we've got B and we've got C here, and he's going to try and impose tariffs using those other powers and other authorities that do appear to be within his wheelhouse. So again, the big question for Canada moving forward is this, will there be exemptions like Canada had before? Or will Canadian goods get hit with this new global tariff? And again, we don't know just yet specifically from the White House. They say once the paper is released, they'll have details on that. But again, I don't want to infer or imply anything from that one brief statement from a spokesman.
No, exactly. That's important. And one thing to note, if you're in Toronto and you don't need to drive, don't. What have we learned about the Trump administration's trade strategy?
So Donald Trump actually revealed a lot at this news conference when he was answering some questions. And so this tariff that he's applying, Andrew, I'm going to keep checking my emails. We're having these conversations just in case I do get something from either the trade office or the White House offering some clarity here. But he revealed a little bit about what the next steps ahead are. So this tariff, this global tariff, the power that he has, it can only be in place for 150 days. And Trump revealed that in that time, the White House or the Trump administration plans to launch a whole whack of investigations into other sectors they might want to impose tariffs on. So you know how Canadians are getting hit by steel, aluminum, softwood lumber, all those tariffs that are still in place and exist. The Trump administration wants to look at different sectors. It takes time to investigate, and then they can start applying things. So this global tariff gives them 150 days. In that time, they're going to start doing investigations and look at other sectors that they can hit to ensure the revenue streams keep coming in.
Katie, thank you. The CBC's Katie Simpson live in Washington.